Long story short, I love dancing games. Like a lot. Oftentimes these games aren't really represented in gaming discourse because most people that make video essays happen to be in a core gamer demographic that don't tend to take to these games very often. It was easy to associate dancing video games with that era when the casual games were taking over or something and the game reviewers were afraid at night of the dreaded casual game. How terrifying. However, casual games have value too. They engage an audience who perhaps wouldn't have played a video game otherwise. And it encouraged many to give it a go. And then those people that did give it a go ended up being core gamers later. I perhaps wouldn't be as into video games as I am now if it wasn't for stuff like Wii Sports and that kind of thing, right? And most people who got into games in that era likely feel the same. From DDR to Just Dance, let's look at the whole spectrum of dancing game offerings and see what they do well, what they don't do well, and let's get to the bottom of why dancing games are so engaging.
Dance, Dance Revolution!
That's DDR. So you have probably seen a machine that looks like this. It's probs that one cool retro game tucked away in your nearest arcade if you even still have those. Or maybe it's an In the Groove machine or something, I don't know. Now, Dance Dance Revolution did not invent rhythm games. That funny rapping dog did. But it did begin games where you danced and moved your body. From the get-go, this makes this a very different gaming experience. Fitness while playing video games wasn't exactly the most common thing, especially back in the before I was born era. But the tech wasn't there to detect your body dancing. So instead, notes are represented by these funny little arrows. But don't worry, there's someone here to support you. It is the little handlebar thing. Now, Konami rhythm games typically consisted of a mix of licensed music and music they made themselves, which I'd imagine have kept the costs of making a rhythm game a lot lower than it would have been otherwise. These games can get pretty brutal. As the difficulties go up, the more insane it gets. Game got too easy? Now play with both pads at the same time. Don't have 4 feet? Figure it out. This is gaming. So what's the game do well? It's a pretty hardcore rhythm game. The pads are ultra responsive, assuming your machine isn't older than you. Has some pretty cool Japanese indie music in it, and kind of made dancing games exist. So, in my books, that's pretty cool. But what doesn't it do well? I mean, it can be a bit intimidating for new players. What is this? It's dancing. It just isn't as casual as later alternatives, so it has a higher skill floor, but that's a good or bad thing depending on who you are. Oh, and it's developed by Konami, which is usually a con for game reviewers, but the rhythm game division is weirdly consistent compared to, well, everything else. We never got a DDR pachinko machine, so I think that's a win. So, pad-based rhythm games like Dance Dance Revolution, In the Groove, and of course Pump It Up Prime all kind of have the same principle to it. But I like Pump It Up Prime a little more because they kind of grabbed the pad and like flipped it diagonal. And I find moving on it feels a little more like dancing. I'm a bit biased though. It was the machine that I had the most access to as a university student. But if you happen to like K-pop a lot, I recommend Pump It Up if you can somehow find it. But this video has another completely different approach to dancing in video games, and there's no doubt you've probably heard of it. Did you know Just Dance 3 is the literal 10th best-selling Wii game literally ever? Well, now you do. Just Dance is a game where you follow real-life dancers on screen and follow their moves using the Wii's motion controls. They were gonna use a nunchuck as well, so you would like hold both and swing both. However, they found out that people would get like caught up and tangled and all sorts of mishaps, so they decided to just use one Wii remote. And this ended up being what really helped Just Dance take off, really. Now, technically, you only had to move your right hand due to the way they designed it, and you could score perfects or whatever. That's not fun, IGN. That's not fun, IGN. However, I did lose a Just Dance tournament from someone doing this. I'm not salty, it's just, it's more fun to use your whole body, that's all I'm saying. So, song choices in Just Dance were more mainstream and pop focused for the most part. The dances in the early games in particular were very simple, but the later games decided to kind of step it up and make more wild, crazy dance routines. I think the series had better music variety as it went on, but that could be a bias in music taste, so who's to say? Just Dance's appeal is its simplicity. Like Wii Sports, you can explain how to play Just Dance in literally 5 seconds. Alright, all you gotta do is swing. Ooh.
That's a world record.
I mean, if that explanation wasn't good enough, the game actually just reminds you every time you start a song. Kinda neat. To make it even more simple, they eventually added Kinect support. Game reviewer's favorite thing. So, it's kind of used as a bit of a punching bag by game journalists. However, for dancing games in particular, the Kinect's pretty cool actually. And the other games have value too. Ever checked the comment section for these games? Oh, people have nostalgia for these. So, with a game so comedically simple to pick up and play and have a great time, but also offering a hardcore experience for those passionate about dance, where does the series go from here? Where else? Live service, baby! So, Just Dance 2023 onwards all works inside a singular Just Dance app on your console. Inside the Just Dance game, you can access songs from 2023 and 2024 within the same application. And you also can pay a subscription for more songs. As politely as possible, if you're aiming for making an accessible dance game for casual gamers, I don't think making the game harder to buy than to play really helps. You may not know this, but Just Dance does in fact have a story. Kinda. Each dance portrays little stories here and there. My favorite example being the same coach from Thank You Next and Good For You end up appearing in the map Vampire, where they're like ex-girlfriends that eventually come back together at the prom. That's cute. That's cute. Make more of that, Ubisoft. They even have songs that reference previous dances, such as Last Friday Night. In this one, all the coaches from a bunch of Katy Perry songs jump into the map to teach a nervous girl how to dance by using their dance moves from their maps. They're using nostalgia from previous dances to tell a story in this dance. That's so cute. I love that. So, unlike DDR and every retro game ever, it's actually really easy to get a hold of these games for a reasonable price. Crazy! Good price retro games. What a foreign concept to most of us. So, even if IGN hated this game with every fiber of their being, this is a really bad review. Please read this, it's really funny. Wait till this guy finds out they made 20 of these. So, what does it do well? Well, for starters, it's very friendly for casual gamers that just wanna dance. It's very simple, and I think that has really benefited it, and makes it a great pick up and play game and a great party game with friends especially. The dances are super fun. There's even really tough ones like K-pop choreographies and stuff if you want a real big challenge. And they hire such good dancers for these games, check out their Instagrams. Some of them have such good, they're just so good at their job. They hire the top of dancers. I love it. And the most surprising thing to me is this game has a rhythm judgment. You know, when something says okay, good, great, perfect, that kind of thing. Because not even Guitar Hero does that. But not to be a downer, but what does it do bad? Well, so they have these things called gold notes. It's basically a super like triumphant move to end the dance, or in the middle right before a chorus or a big moment. You get extra points if you hit these moves, and you get a little punished if you don't hit them. But no matter what I do, I feel like I never hit it. Like, I never get the points for it. Like, in general, the tracking in this game can be really unreliable in the non-Kinect versions of these games, and, well, there's no Kinect anymore, so we're kind of stuck with either Joy-Cons or using our phones. And it can be, admittingly, surprisingly frustrating to not hit a gold note. I think if these games didn't have gold notes, I'd probably like it more. It's not that much of an issue, because it's not really a game you play to hit the perfect scores or whatever. Another negative, depending on who you are, is it's not some high skill ceiling bullet hell rhythm experience you may be seeking. But that's okay. That's not what it tries to do. There's other games for that, like DDR. And finally, well, this game's made by Ubisoft, which is a turnoff for most people, and I respect that. There's a lot of like misconduct in that workplace, and I hope everyone that does work there that is kind-hearted, I hope you're doing okay. I really like these games, and I'm sorry to hear that they're made in such terrible conditions. Dance Central was the new kid on the block with the new Kinect, and Microsoft wanted a dance game all to their own. Every game reviewer looked in horror as they knew they had to play a dancing game. Which is why critics weren't very, oh, they like this one. That's cool. I'm happy about that actually, yay. So, I missed out on this game when it came out at launch due to not having an Xbox. So, I got one online. And when I got it, I was moving apartments when the package arrived, and I had to carry this massive box across the state. That was not very fun. But was it worth doing that and injuring my hands to be able to play this game? You better believe it was. Now, Dance Central is the same core concept as Just Dance, however it's built with a full body in mind. So they rely a bit more on footwork and have like really difficult fun choreographies to do. So, as a result, there's a lot of really fun, super hard choreographies. I mean, just look at this. How am I meant to do this? If only someone could teach me.
What's up, y'all? This is Usher.
Yes, you heard that correctly. This game has a rehearse mode, so you can go through every move individually you're having trouble with and learn it. Wow. I'm actually really surprised this is the first time a game's done this. Seems kind of obvious for a dance game. Just Dance is more simple, and that's fine. That's what it's going for. But if you could only pick one game to learn dancing as a full-on like skill, yeah, Dance Central's the one, honestly. The tracking feels really strict but really fair at the same time. The choreography is so well made. The song variety is really good. Unlike early Just Dance games, I think Dance Central does a better job at, I'm going to call this gendered dance variety. I'm going to use that term really loosely. I don't have a better word for this. But some dances feature like girly or boyish moves for people to dance to. So for people that want to do more like boyish dance moves, Dance Central is a bit better because there's a bit more variety, which is something I've heard a lot of male identifying Just Dance players complaining about sometimes. Sometimes there's too many like girly moves and there's not as much balance. I like that Dance Central has a better balance. There's some really girly dances, there's some really masculine dances, and there's plenty of ones that are a bit in the middle. The full spectrum of dance, per se. And learning all types of dance is so important, I think. I know we gender them, but I feel like I've learnt a lot from girly dances and boyish dances. Not that I would normally group them like this at all. But I thought this is good to mention as far as like diversity and accessibility to a game, because I feel like this game probably got a lot of men like interested in dancing but probably felt too afraid to try. And I think that's really important. The game also lets you change the difficulty, background, and the dance coach for every single song. Yes, there's specific dance coaches and they can do any of the dances. So you can see your favorite character do every dance in the game. And I think that's pretty cool. Apparently, teenagers in the 2010s went wild for Glitch in particular. Where does the series go from here? Live service, baby! But instead of a subscription, you just buy the songs, which, you know, that's nice. But what isn't nice is they kind of stripped down the game a bit. A lot of characters didn't return. They recycled choreo from previous games and didn't create new dance moves for the new game. Also, it released on the Xbox One Kinect only, which, I hate to break it to Xbox, but that console didn't do very well.
Fortunately, we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message if you know. Well,
It's strange that they pushed the Kinect so hard in the Xbox One's marketing and didn't actually really make any games for it. I feel like they should have gone a lot harder with Dance Central Spotlight. I feel like if they went a bit harder with that, the Kinect would have been a bit of an easier pill to swallow, because that was always deemed the best Kinect game. So we got Kinect Sport Rivals at least, which I've been told is pretty good. So that's cool. So overall, how do I feel about it? Dance Central has the best choreography in any dancing game. Literally no contest, I have to be honest, fully transparent. It's like next level, to be honest. Whoever they hired made some insane choreography. And also, it's made by the Rock Band team, or the original Guitar Hero devs. And that's actually pretty cool to see them try a dance game. And it really shows that they made this game because of how much quality of life and how well made it is. The tracking itself is like near flawless. Like when you do something, even like tiny little like tutting motions, it still gets it, right? It still tracks it, and I just can't comprehend how it does it. It's just so impressive, to be honest. If I be lazy and don't do a technique properly, it just knows. It's so impressive. And, you know, it actually teaches you how to dance with the rehearse mode, which I think bumps up the game like multiple arbitrary IGN review scores. And if you want to learn how to dance and you have a 360 and a Kinect lying around, or you're willing to buy a Kinect for really cheap, yeah, give it a try. I think this is the best one for teaching you how to dance. If you have no idea how to dance, I think this is a good option. For people wondering, Dance Central Free is my favorite out of the free. We don't talk about Spotlight. So, what are the negatives? The negative is they don't make it. They don't make it anymore. There's no more Dance Central. I don't want to be like a biased reviewer, because I mean I just bought Dance Central, so I tried really hard to come up with a negative about it. To be honest, Dance Central is kind of perfect as a dancing game. It does everything right to make it both a fun party experience and a great way to do some hardcore dancing. I can't criticize it. It even made Kinect menus really good. It has great dance tracks. It has a great song list. Yeah, the only way to really make it better is more, I guess. More of it. I actually couldn't think of anything. Like, yeah, maybe the menu's sometimes a bit janky, but they let you use the controller if you get frustrated, so that's kind of perfect. Yeah, I have no criticisms. Neat. Next game. Oh, also, I just want to mention that Harmonix today are currently making Fortnite Festival, which is a spiritual successor to like Guitar Hero and Rock Band especially. And I have a humble request. On the off chance that this video does really well, and I doubt it, I would like to ask Harmonix a favor. So you brought back Rock Band into Fortnite. That's very cool. How about Dance Central in Fortnite? Imagine your Fortnite skin as your coach dancing, and you get to copy Goku's cool dances. You get to see Goku hit a cowtail. That's cool. That'd be cool, Harmonix. Please? 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 Alright, I know. I've already talked about Dance Dance Revolution. That's DVR. But I found something right before I was recording, okay? Okay. Look at this, okay? On Dance Dance Revolution, released in 2010 on the Wii, Or Dance Dance Revolution Hottest Party hits 4 in Europe or something, I don't know. They added a mode called Choreography Mode, which combines the movement of Just Dance with the pad movement. Now, it was really hard to find footage of people even playing this mode, so I'm gonna assume it wasn't very popular. Now, like, if this came out before Just Dance, I think this could have been a massive hit. But it's worth mentioning, Dance Central came out the same year as this. So I can imagine it didn't make a splash. I think, if anything, the people buying Dance Dance Revolution probably weren't too interested. But maybe it got someone into actual dancing, so I view it as a win. I think this is really cute. I would have loved this at the time because I was really into DDR, and I think it would have been a great gateway into like the Just Dance kind of rhythm games, so I'd feel more comfortable doing it. But this exists. I don't have too much to say because I only found out about it really recently, and I haven't gotten to play it because I don't have a DDR mat at home. But it grabs the hardcore DDR kind of vibe and the casual choreo kind of rhythm games, and that's kind of cool. I don't think it's gonna rock anyone's world, but if you have a mat lying around, this could be fun. Most important of all, this game re-sparked an interest in dance that I thought I lost forever due to a bad teacher, bad memories, and a lost childhood. I never got to be the cute little ballet girl. That timeline where I got to be that is gone. Forever. Never happening. Right? I can't change the past. I lost something. That's fine. I lost something due to gender, and I nearly gave up on a passion due to it. You know? And thanks to these games, I got back into it. And the passion for it burns stronger than ever, to be honest. Like, I really, really love dancing. And I'm really thankful that these games re-sparked that interest in me, you know? Without them, I may never have danced again. I understand dancing games won't appeal to everyone, and that's fine. It's not like a core gamer experience. It's a bit niche, and that's like fine. Perfectly fine. We just won't see Harmonix walk onto the stage at the Game Awards, shake Jeff Keighley's hand and make a 30-second speech about dancing games. That's just not going to happen. It doesn't have to happen. A game's worth is not defined by its critical reception, by core gamers. If you like a game, that's all there is to it. Go to the comments to any Dance Central or Just Dance video on YouTube and read the comments. There are so many people who grew up with these games and view them as nostalgic classics in the same way that snobby game reviewers view GoldenEye. You know? There's all sorts of games that have value to everyone, you know? And you don't have to feel ashamed for liking games that aren't viewed favorably. You don't have to start your conversation with, I like Just Dance. Like, I know it's a casual game, but you don't have to do that. If you like a game, you can say you like it. It's okay. You don't have to justify it, and you don't have to act like it's bad, and that's just not how criticism works. You can just enjoy a game, right? If you enjoy it, that's what matters. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, ever. Okay? Most gaming discourse pretends these kind of games don't even exist. And I suppose that doesn't matter. That's okay. If you like a game, you don't have to justify why, if you don't want to. You can discuss why you like it, and that's perfectly fine. But don't let people convince you a game you like is not valuable or lesser, right? If you enjoy a game, enjoy it, okay? We don't have to prove anything. If we enjoy dance games, that's okay. Sometimes we gotta just dance. Thank you for watching.